Hi guys, welcome back to Spars Outdoors. Today we're going to be cleaning up those fish that we caught. Got an Atlantic, 3 steelhead, and a walleye. So I'm going to be cleaning those fish up. I'm going to be using this. I got my Runcl knife this time. That Runcl knife, man. I'm telling you, this thing is absolutely razor sharp. And it stays razor sharp because when you get the kit, it comes with a sharpener, a scaler, and also this thing here, the fork. You poke in the tail to skin that fish. All you do is, every time you're done, clean this knife off, just go back and forth in this a few times just like that, and it keeps that knife razor sharp. Also, Runcl sent me this Baelish 3000 reel. Gonna be putting that on pretty soon, and you can look on Runcl.com and you can check that reel out. I can already tell it's gonna be amazing. Also, they sent me the Steelhead 8 color 30-pound test braid. I cannot wait to run this on one of my dipsy rods. That's going to be amazing. You know why it's going to be amazing? Because it's colored like your lead core. So when you're running on a dipsy, you can pay attention to how far back 50 feet is, all the way up to 200 feet, because there's 900 feet, over 900 feet of line on this spool. So you'll be able to tell on your dipsy rods how far you're back just by watching the color as it goes out. So that's an amazing product they have too. And like I said, you guys, I try to keep everything real, and this right here is amazing stuff. So I'm gonna get to cleaning on these fish, and be sure to go to Runcl.com and use my discount code SPAL2Runcl. Get yourself one of these flame knife sets. Check out their reels. I took $200 reels off my jigging rods and run these reels, and they outperform them 10 to 1. I mean, they are a bad to the bone company. So give them a check out. Anyways, gonna get started on these fish. So I'm gonna turn the camera down like this so you can see the fish. By the way, I'm using a pizza box here. Comment how many of you guys have ever cleaned fish on a pizza box sitting at your kitchen table. I bet you a lot of people probably actually do this. I know I watched my dad do it. My grandpa do it, my brothers do it. I do the same thing. When you're out of cardboard boxes, or I got a stainless steel fish cleaning table, but I don't go out there when the weather's nasty, and it's nasty right now, so I'm gonna use this right here, plus I get better quality videos inside this kitchen. So I'm gonna turn this camera down here, and we're gonna get Willie, bring the Atlantic salmon out for us. First I'm gonna show you the Atlantic salmon. Right up here on the old greasy pizza box. So here we go, we got that Atlantic salmon. It's a beautiful Atlantic too. I tell you what, man, that's a really nice Atlantic salmon. So just like the king salmon here, let me get this, you're gonna cut down right here on an angle right behind the head. And like I said, razor sharp knives for these fish. And that Runcl is amazing. Then you're just gonna do just like the king salmon, right through the bones. You're gonna cut right through the bones all the way down to the tail, just like the king salmon. You don't want to waste any of this meat, because I tell you what, man, salmon is an amazing, Atlantic salmon is an amazing tasting fish. So then again, you come right back down that side just like that, and then you're going to run that knife right all the way to the tail again, just like the king salmon. Just like that, you can hear it going right through them bones. This Runcl knife's so sharp, when you get down towards the tail end of this fish, I'll slide it down here, it wants to just slide through, and I like to use the back and forth method, so I mean, you can see there it slid anyway, but just cut right through out down to the end of the tail, flip that fillet over, cut some of that belly meat off there. With these Atlantic salmon, you want to also remember at the end to cut the heads off and take them to your local bait shop or fish cleaning station with the freezer to write down the information so the DNR can collect it on those Atlantic salmon heads. Same thing like the king salmon, you don't want to waste too much of this meat here. So you just barely make a slice to where you can go just under those ribs and pull up on those ribs, just like that, and flay right down those ribs and keep that meat underneath that rib cage. That omega-3 sets in that fatty part of the meat, and I tell you what, man, that's real healthy for you. So you're just gonna slice that down through there, all the way down. Like that, and then you're gonna, this is why a sharp knife comes into play, take it right along the belly and pull that right away. Now you're left with a nice clean Atlantic salmon fillet, and that's ready for the grill. just like that. Beautiful fillet. Look at the color of the meat on that thing. Same thing with this side. Same exact repeat of this side. This one I got the fin in there. There you're left with another real nice Atlantic salmon fillet right there. He's going to go in the bowl because I'm going to wash him up. All right, Willie. Now we're going to get right into a steelhead. Grab me out any of the steelhead. Any of them. I ain't going to show them all of them. Well, I might do 2 different ways to clean these steelhead. So there's many ways you can clean these fish. I'm going to actually do this one. I'm going to take the skin off this one. So same thing like the king salmon I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to run that. A lot of guys will cut this belly out. I'll show you. I'll show you what a lot of guys do. They'll take their knife sideways here and they'll cut down about an inch. Just like that. They'll cut down about an inch. It's more complicated than anything, but they'll run their knife right along the belly like this. And they'll take it right down to behind that back fin. Just like that. So, right down behind the back fin, cut right through it. Then they'll pull that belly out like that. And then, it's kind of a process compared to the way I do it, I think, in my eyes. And then they'll cut right down that back like I do with the other fish I showed you. And just go all the way to the tail. Right straight down to the tail. And then you're left with a fillet that looks like that. So pretty much it's the same concept. They're just cutting the belly meat out before instead of after, but it leaves much more of a mess if you ask me. So same thing with this side. I'm just going to cut right down to the tail. Right down to the tail. I'm sorry here, guys. I did not know the camera wasn't on the fish completely. I adjust it here pretty soon. I'm going to throw the remains into the garbage can here. And now I'm going to skin. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the rib cages out of these, just like the salmon. And like I said, I'll show you. Maybe I'll show you how to debone salmon or trout or whatever here in a second here on another steelhead. Let me just cut this out. And there's not so much rib cage in these steelhead. I like that. It's always good to get more meat than you do anything else. But that's a nice clean steelhead fillet there. Look at that thing. Turn the camera down a little bit more so you can see that even better. Look at that thing there, man. That's a nice steelhead fillet. And I'm going to actually skin this. So I'm going to use that fork there. I'm going to slide it. I'm going to use the back and forth method on this one. And every so often just move that fork from Runcl there. And I try to kind of flay that red meat off the back of all my fish. But every so often flip that fillet forward, stick the fork up a little bit farther. You know, you'll feel what's comfortable for you. And as you can see, I'm leaving a lot of that red meat right on that skin. So just keep sticking that fork in it and fillet right to the front. Got most of that red meat left right on that. It's not too bad on a steelhead. You ain't got to really worry much about that red meat. But you're left with a nice looking fillet. Looks like this here. Then you just cut her into steaks. Just like that. 3 steaks out of one side of a steelhead. And we'll go ahead and we'll do the same thing with this side. Cut that rib cage out. And there's not much of one on a steelhead. Their rib cage is a lot smaller than the salmon. Then you got your fillet again. Stake her out. Now, bring out another one of those steelhead. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to show you a different way to do a steelhead here. As long as you don't let Hallie know we're making a mess. Now here's another way you can clean a steelhead. You can do it just like you do a walleye, which I'll show you here in a second. You just cut right down to the belly. Flip that fish over. Let's turn this camera a little bit. And then you'll run it right down the backbone, just like you do a walleye. And this is the way I was taught, but you always learn things and do things your own way and figure out different things and different methods to clean these fish. And then you just like a walleye, you cut right down through. Just keep going until you hear them bones. That's right there. Now with these, and this is much different than a walleye. These bones go way deeper into the flesh than a walleye, so you can't really cut around the rib cage in this scenario. So you got to kind of poke through the ribs right there. Run your knife down the side of that fish. Poke through those ribs. Run her down once. Hold that fillet up to get all that good meat down there. Again, and then again. And then you're going to take your fillet and you're just going to run it right along that belly there. And you're left with a fillet that looks like that. You can kind of see the bones sticking up in that one right there, which I'm going to show you in a minute how we get those out. And you're just going to do the same to the other side. And again, it's just a repeat of the other side, so we're going to edit it down. So we'll actually get back to that because I ain't got the tweezers on me right now, or a pair of pliers. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use pliers, I think. And we'll get back to that. But right now I'm going to show you how we do, I'm just going to set these to the side for now. I'm going to show you how we do a walleye because a lot of you guys didn't see that video. And I'll show you how quick and boneless you can get a walleye with a sharp knife. I'm going to run it back through here a few times just to make sure she stays sharp. We're going to put that walleye up here. Alright. Now just like that last fish, you make a slice, run right down beside that fin right there. Just on a little bit of an angle back, cut right down to the belly. Then you run your knife right to the tail, kind of slide it right through here, right out the tail. And then, unlike those fish, you're going to run it down till you hear the ribs, which is right there. I heard the ribs, so I'm going to make that slice back down the side and pull out, and I'm going to pull out like that on that fillet. So there's them ribs, you can hear them. So you're going to actually cut around these ribs, right to about right there. You'll hear them stop. There's the end of them. So right there I'll make an incision. Flip that fillet sideways, run the knife down like that, and as you can see, I've left that rib cage sitting right there. It's right there. Then you just cut that fillet off the fish. I don't like walleye's belly meat, so I come up a little short, and when you're done, you end up with a boneless fillet just like that, which I'll skin that in a second. We'll go ahead and do this same thing on this side. I'm going to take that Runcl fork, and then you just keep running it down, flip that fillet forward, keep running it down, and there you are. You're left with a nice, perfect, boneless walleye fillet, just like that. That's how you hand clean a walleye. Now I'm going to show you how to pull these bones out of these steelhead fillets. Will, you mind going and grab me a pair of pliers, bud? So you can actually see those bones. They stop right here, and here's where they start right here, and they run right to there. You can see them sticking up like that. But yeah, you can see those bones just like that. And these run this way in the fillet. So you got to make sure when you pull on these, you pull out in the opposite direction that they are going, so you ain't gouging your meat up too bad. You'll get some gouges here and there, but you know, if you want to fish to fry up without the bones, like I said, when you grill them bones pop right up, and we grill most of them, but I just want to show you guys in case you like frying them a different way. Now we're going to grab these bones just like this. You're going to feel, one will start right here. You can see it. You grab a hold of it and you pull it out just like that. Then you go on to the next one, which up front here, there's always these ones that run up front here that are real hard to get. You got to really feel for them. So there's one right there. You just try to grab it without grabbing the meat is the trick. We just grab a hold of it and you pull out, and there's your bone right there. These front ones are so small, they're harder to get to, so you just grab it, pull out. Wherever you feel them ones up front, just grab a hold of them and pull them out. As you go back, they get bigger, like that there. As you're going back, they're going to keep getting bigger and bigger until you get them all out. As you can see, that fourth one back is already getting bigger. So as you guys can see here, it's a pretty simple process. Takes a little bit of time, but you just grab that bone and pull out the opposite way the bone's going into the flesh. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this down too because it takes up some time. But yeah, that's how you pull the bones out of a steelhead, salmon, or any type of trout or salmon species. So the other steelhead will leave the skin on for the grill. So we're going to flip that forward, just like we've been doing. Stick that fork in it, run it right along down through there. And there you're left with a nice looking, well, I just set it in the bones. Nice looking steelhead fillet. You're gonna cut him into steaks, throw him right in the bowl. And right here I noticed there's a little bit of dark meat, so I'm actually just gonna cut that right out. Because I don't mess around with meat that has any color than anything that I want, that's for sure. We're gonna cut that piece right out. We're gonna throw him in the bowl. He's ready to go. Then again, you're gonna repeat the same steps. I ain't gonna sit here and show you this, but you're gonna repeat the same steps. You can see them bones right there, guys, sticking up. Run your fingers right along them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that all the way down, and they stop. Right here is where the bones stop. So right about halfway through that fillet, you got bones to the front. But this video will go on forever. I keep doing all this. So there you have it. Just some simple ways to clean Atlantic salmon, steelhead, and walleye. Keep on watching, keep on liking, keep on subscribing. Go check out Runcl for their merchandise, man. They got a lot of good stuff in there. And use my discount code SPAL2Runcl. They got these hats. They're pretty cool. They got all kinds of merchandise in there you guys might want to check out. They got that Runcl dry bag I've been using a lot too. You can see in the background of some of my videos there. That's the 40-liter dry bag. We're going to head over to the west side of the state. We're going to pack that thing full of ice and water and drinks, and then when we get over there, we're going to dry it out with a rag, and then we're going to actually use that for fishing stuff, put our tackle boxes and stuff like that, and then go into the boat. That's another good item you guys might want to check out. So thank you guys for all the support you've already given the channel. It means a lot to me. It's free to you guys to subscribe to my channel and like those videos, but it means a ton to me. So thanks guys again for watching Spars Outdoors.